pay that man his money.
Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment, Land & Sea Motorsports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap, and actually it is a very special edition of Sports on Tap because it is our 50th episode, gentlemen.
It is 50th episode,
yes,
and it's
of this version of Sports on Tap.
Of this version 3.0.
Yes.
And it's our 1 year mark.
It is.
This officially marks 1 year of us doing this show.
After me asking for the last 2 weeks if it was the 1 year. Yeah.
This is the this
now
is,
we're there.
This is the 1 year anniversary of Sports on Tap version 3.0.
This is it.
Yeah. So we're happy about it. Something to be proud of.
We made it a
that
year.
We made it a year at least,
Yeah.
and hopefully we're going to continue for a significantly longer amount of time. So that'd be great.
We've got plans to do that.
We do, yes. So to make it a year, I think is pretty impressive, and hopefully moving forward, we can produce a lot more.
Especially when you look at the year that we've tried to do sports during.
Through a COVID year, through a pandemic, we've made it a year. So
we've been fortunate not to have a lot of dead time, but we've had some interesting shit going on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Trying to do this,
no doubt. So I'm proud of it. It's something that's what we strive to do when we first decided to do the third version of the show is start with a year and then kind of go from there, and we've hit that. So and we're gaining steam, and I know I'm happy about that, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for you too that you guys you're happy about that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm beyond happy.
Yeah.
I mean, we took something that we had different versions of before,
right?
And we were able to take it on our own and just tackle it on our own. Put together our own studio. We had been picked up by internet radio before and by a podcast company, but this was us. We decided to do it on our own and do it our own way, and this is pretty cool, man. We made it a year, and we've just been getting stronger by the minute.
Honestly,
it's great,
especially these last few months.
Oh yeah,
these last few months have been.
Yeah,
I don't want to call it skyrocketing, but we've
made some moves.
Yeah,
and and frankly, that goes out to the people that have supported us.
Yep,
the entire way. Friends, family. Our sponsors and everything like that. We just want to say thank you and just a big shout out to you guys. You guys have helped us tremendously get through this, for the first year of it, and hopefully you guys will, stay with us, as we move forward. That'd be awesome.
All of our current sponsors, obviously, with Jason Stiltner, and the Joe Wright Group.
He's been in it almost since the beginning.
Yeah,
hasn't
he?
Has been.
He's been in for a while.
This is literally not possible without him.
Yeah.
No. And even our past sponsor. Well, currently we have Baldman Entertainment.
Yeah.
Which is a big thank you to Baldman Entertainment.
Yeah.
Along with the Joe Wright Group and Jason Stiltner, Land & Sea Motorsports, but also our past sponsors of
Go to
Pro Plumbing.
Yes.
On the Bay.
And On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe. So everybody that's been involved in this has helped us along the way, and we couldn't be more grateful and thankful. So
yeah, I don't think we're here without your guys' help and just your support. Period.
And another huge shout out goes to your lady friend.
Yes, I was actually just going to do that too. So I'm glad that you did.
Allison is the lovely voice that you hear introducing the show.
Yeah.
The brought to you by, along with. She helped us. Actually, she designed our logo.
Yeah, she did.
So
and she's kind of like one of our social media people.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely has helped us along the way. So a big thank you to you, Allison.
Yeah,
that she has.
For your help.
This does not happen the way it happened.
Yes,
without you.
So a big thank you to you as well. We truly appreciate it. So
very much so.
I'm glad we were able to do that. But we're here to talk about sports, right? That's kind of the name of the show.
We did get a comment from Baldman Entertainment.
All right.
Okay. What we got?
He made, I forgot this comment. He made a comment to me yesterday about there's just something great about hearing my company's name announced in a robot voice. And I said, bro, that's not a robot. That's Allison. She announces the show so that we're not if any one of the three of us did it, it would just be too much of our voice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And her voice adds the female aspect to it. She has a great voice for it. She's done it before, and so she has recorded those. And he thought it was a robot voice.
Nope.
For some reason, I was like, "No, bro,
nope.
That's not a robot.
That's
voice.
a real person.
That's a real person. She's real. It's not Manti Te'o's girlfriend. She's real."
Yes. So she is absolutely real. And again, thank you for doing our reads and like our intro and things like that. So we definitely appreciate that. But as I was saying, this is a sports show, so I think we should talk some sports. What do you think about that?
Do you think so?
I think we should. I mean,
not
it's
to
the
hijack things, but we got a little breaking news.
What's that?
We got a little breaking news. Adam Schefter is just reporting shortly before we went on. Le'Veon Bell,
Ravens.
now a Raven.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
That adds. So,
I mean, there was a panic move. They had to do.
Yeah.
They didn't have a choice.
I was gonna say, do you want me to analyze this? I can analyze this from two different aspects. So I'll analyze it from the real aspect of football, and it comes down to they needed a body.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they have Taysom Williams, who is the backup to Gus Edwards. They now have lost 2 of their 4 running backs, their starter and their third string guy.
Right.
So their second string guy is now their starter in Gus Edwards. Their fourth string guy moved past the third string guy and is now their second string guy in Taysom Hill.
Nope. Other guy. Other Taysom. Taysom Hill in
Taysom Williams.
Yes,
Sorry.
there you go.
I get getting confused. So with this is basically them just needing a body in the backfield. They need a body at practice. They need a body in the backfield.
And you might
not
sell 20, 30 jerseys.
What? And he's not going to add anything to the actual roster. Right. I don't see him playing much other than some at the end of a game where they're blowing somebody out or spelling somebody.
He's basically going to do what he did in Tampa.
What, you mean KC?
Like nothing.
In KC.
He was with Tampa, though, wasn't he?
No.
I thought he wasn't.
That was Fournette who went to
Tampa.
Tampa.
Right. But yeah, basically what he did in KC. He's going to basically do the same thing. And he's going to get probably pissed that
he's the
John
third.
Harbaugh.
And when it comes down to if we're looking at it from a fantasy aspect, because let's face it, most people that follow football follow fantasy.
Unless the other 2 guys die, don't pick them up.
This has nothing to don't rush out and pick him up. This has nothing to do with that, and he's not going to steal many carries from the other 2 guys. It's still basically you're looking at a split backfield between Gus Edwards and Taysom Williams, and most of it's going to go to Edwards. It's going to be like a 60-40 split between them and. And Le'Veon Bell will get a handful of carries a game,
He's going to be the equivalent of a third down back.
Yeah, you're not, and even then, probably not that.
Right.
So
I'm saying like touch wise.
Right.
He's going to get what a third down back.
So this basically is news, but it's non-news because you knew they were going to sign somebody. He's just the guy they signed.
It's because they literally kind of had to.
Desperation.
Because they just didn't have any bodies.
On top of the fact that you knew he was going to end up being a veteran that would wait until camp was over.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait until right before
the same thing with Josh Norman did.
Yep.
He did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is honestly genius on their part.
And I'm waiting on. Has Sherman signed anywhere yet?
Yeah, 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, Sherman has not.
Okay.
I don't think he's signed anywhere.
No, Norman signed with.
I think that's because of the legal issues.
The legal issues. They're still keeping him out of it.
Yes, as far as I know, yes.
Well, I saw that video. Not a good look.
Yeah. right. Now, I'm glad you ended with that because I wanted to go with not a good look. There's college football this weekend.
Oh yes.
Which it started, and some teams look good, like Alabama. They is just a machine. And my Hurricanes did not look good. They looked like they were just completely overmatched and just disinterested to even be on the field with Alabama. For all the hype and all the shit before the season started, and then to come out like that, just completely flat, that is flat out unacceptable. You can't do that. But it's a week 1. We always talk about overreactions week 1.
Well, I always talk about overreactions to any week.
You do.
But yeah, week one is one of the biggest ones where people overreact to it.
Right, but this is a, like we talked about before the show, this is a disturbing trend for Miami and Manny Diaz, because a lot of the big games that he has coached in with Miami, they've come out flat. And it's a disturbing trend, and it's something that has to change. Now, you still have a shot to win their division in the ACC, the Coastal, I believe. And I think they have a legitimate shot to do that, because I don't care who Alabama was playing that day. They were going to steamroll whomever they played.
Yeah.
They're just on a completely different level than everybody else in college football.
We could call the season right now and just give it to Alabama.
Could.
And,
Absolutely you could.
I mean, I would prefer to watch it happen, but
right.
that's how this thing's ending.
Right.
That's how it looks.
And then, you got the other games, like I know the Florida State Notre Dame game, which I thought honestly would be a cakewalk for Notre Dame, and frankly it should have been. But Joey, you want to hit the grind my gears music?
You know what really grinds my gears?
When football coaches and NHL or just hockey coaches in general, when you have a significant lead in a game, whether it be like 3 goals or 2 goal, whatever, or you're up by 3 scores in a football game, why do you play zone defense? Why do you play soft zone defense and let a team back in the game?
You play prevent defense, and what it does is it prevents you from actually winning the game half the time.
Like that game went to overtime, and there's no rhyme or reason that the game should have went to overtime at all, 100%. And it's just you see it all the time. And if I'm a Notre Dame fan, and Frank, obviously you are the resident Notre Dame fan in this room, I'd be furious with it. And now we talked before the show, and you said you're not mad about it because you've seen it. Like, what else is there to say?
And I'm using the number 7. I don't know how long Brian Kelly's been there.
Yeah.
It seems like an eternity at this point.
Yeah.
But this is what we get. Like, we meaning the Notre Dame fans. Like, this is what we're going to end up with.
Yeah.
That university has no plans to move on from him. He keeps getting them just far enough to justify holding on to him, and then turns around and does shit like this the next season.
Like that game should have been over.
Yeah.
That game should have been over in the third quarter. Like when they were up by 18. That game should have been over. Exactly. Yes, 100%.
I would say probably 3 of the 4 quarters of that game, they played like diarrhea.
Yeah. And like I
You
said,
can't let that shit happen.
Exactly.
You can't.
Like I said, by that in the third, like late in the third quarter, once you went up by 18, that end it.
Yeah.
Keep your neck on their throat, end it. But no, you want to play prevent and win defense, and then you end up going to overtime.
Did you just say keep your neck on their throat?
He did.
He did.
Did I say that? I'm sorry. I was doing something else, and it just all of a sudden dawned on me. I went, huh?
He's not a roll.
Okay.
Man. Let him
All right. My bad. I'm sorry. It just if I was in the moment listening, I probably wouldn't have said anything. But it literally hit me afterwards because I was doing something on here, and I'm like, wait, did I just hear that right?
Shut up, Kenny.
Sorry.
You know what I meant.
Shut up, Kenny. You know what I meant. I'm only here because y'all paying me.
But yeah, that's what.
Wait a minute. You get paid?
What the fuck? Wait, no. Yeah, no, I don't.
But yes, that is one of my biggest pet peeves with especially football coaches and hockey coaches when they do that shit, and then they wonder why their team like comes close to losing or actually just loses. It's like because you stopped doing what you were doing to get you said lead, like, and it's dumb.
You instantly change your game plan based on the fact that you have a lead, and that to me that's silly. We're up by this many, so let's just kind of take our foot off the gas. No,
Actually, you know what it is? And I was just thinking about this as you guys were talking about it. It's the Big Ten football concept.
Yeah.
It's literally how the entire Big Ten plays football. And it's why they have the issues they do when it comes to meaningful games.
I can see that.
And Notre Dame's might as well, and it's why we've said for years they might as well be a Big Ten team, because they're a Big Ten team. They play Big Ten football. You get up, and then you play prevent.
Yep.
You get up, and you play prevent.
I've never understood it, and I never will understand it. But I mean, talking about the Big Ten, and then you want to talk about conferences that totally shit the bed. The ACC totally shit the bed this week. They completely shit the bed this week.
Bad look for the ACC.
It was a very bad look for the ACC this week. Again, it was 1 week. You know, there's a lot of football to play. So, but if this is how they're going to look for the entirety of the season, that doesn't bode well for the ACC, and it doesn't bode well for a shot at the playoff. But again, long season, so we'll kind of see where it goes from there. But
yeah, but maybe it'll help in the fact that I won't have to watch my team get embarrassed in the fucking playoffs again.
Fair enough. That is fair.
Well,
and then
I mean, at one point it was like, hey, at least we made it.
At least.
Then we made it twice, and it was like, just let, for me, let's just not do this anymore.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Well, I mean, is it better to make it and get blown out or to just not make it? That's a serious question.
If we're looking at the financial side of things, making it not getting blown out is the way to go because it brings in that money.
Absolutely.
And 4 teams are bringing in that type of money.
I think it's better to make it. I think just for like not prestige, but
for the
just,
program.
Yeah, for program notoriety, I think it's better to make it than not.
And
make
as
it.
a fan, I think it's better. I would rather see my team make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I've loved watching them at the end of December, but I really only enjoy that game for
5 minutes
kickoff-ish.
Right.
Like sometimes not even kickoff.
Yeah.
So that's where I look at it and go, okay, like I've said this before. We've all said this before. We talked about it the other day when we were texting back and forth right after the game. The NCAA and the way that they overrate teams, especially off the jump,
Oh yeah.
is part of the problem. You have Notre Dame that was a 9 seed, I believe they were. And after a piss-poor game where they were up by 18 and lost that lead and ended up having to go to overtime and win it by a field goal.
I'm going to stop. Can I call it a timeout really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
One thing I did love about that, and I called this before it happened, I said he was going to the Florida State's kicker was going to miss wide left because what do Florida State kickers do? They either miss wide left or wide right. I said, before he even kicked it, I go, call it now, wide left. Sure enough, wide left. Love it.
Yep.
That is a Florida State legacy till the end of time.
I agree with you on that one. But you get to a point where, Notre Dame's at 9. They now move up to 8 with this win.
I don't understand that.
You barely squeezed by a team that I'm not going to say you should have blown out. I wasn't as confident as you were last week, Chris. But on the flip side, it's a team with a returning quarterback and a question mark after that. You have no idea what this team's going to be. You should have been able to handle them if you're the number 9 team in the country.
You would think. You would absolutely
And that's
think
why I look at it and go, okay, NCAA, first 4 weeks, just don't rate anybody. Like, we all agreed. You want to rate Alabama, that's fine. They could be number 1 from here until the day I die, and nobody's going to argue it.
Right.
But everybody else, like, let's figure out what these teams are.
Yep.
Because Notre Dame could be total ass this year, and they move up from 9 to 8. Why? No, they didn't earn that move. They've not earned that position.
I don't understand how after a game like that you move up a spot. It doesn't make much sense to me. But
because it's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing.
And it's Notre Dame.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of why I'm bitching about it. I'm the guy who bitches about Michigan getting overrated too.
But speaking of Michigan, like they came out this week and they played Western. They handled their business as you should.
They played good football.
They did.
Not great, but good.
They handled their business as they should. But one noticeable difference, and we talked about this before the show as well, is their defense looked different simply for the fact that they actually made in-game adjustments. Like they saw what Western was trying to do, and says, okay, like well, you can run it for the first score, whatever. Mm-hmm. But all right, now we're going to change some things up and make it so you can't do that anymore. And this was a concept totally lost on Don Brown when he was here. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Our scheme is good, but eventually it's going to work. Instead of, oh, shit, this scheme probably is not going to work. Let's figure something out that will work. And he did. And McDonald did, their new DC. So props to that. That's awesome. Granted, it was Western.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll do that against, like a higher caliber team.
Right.
But overall, yeah, they handled their business, and they absolutely should have handled their business. Good for them. It sucks for Ronnie Bell that he got hurt returning a punt.
Yeah.
And there's a debate, raging, should he even been returning punts or not? I'm on the side that I don't believe he should have been returning punts because I'm sorry, you can't find another guy to do that instead of your best receiver.
Yep. And I don't disagree with you on it, but I also said I understand the play to win mindset.
No, yeah,
you put your best players in the position
right.
that they should be in. I don't necessarily agree that maybe the first game of the year you have them back there,
right?
Especially against a team like Western Michigan.
Yeah,
if you've got Ohio State on the other end of the field, right. I understand this.
Or even if you want to do it this week against Washington,
yeah,
okay,
that's fine.
But
maybe not do it against an opponent that you're going to end up beating.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that, and it just sucks for the kid because he had the tough game at Penn State where he dropped the ball in the end zone, and now this, and it sucks for him. But hopefully he's able to come back from this stronger, and
I have faith he will.
I do too. And then moving on to the other state school in here, Michigan State. Honestly, they actually look good against Northwestern.
It was a pleasant surprise.
Their defense looked good, and their offense actually looked competent.
Yeah.
Which was, all right.
I think this will end up being a team, we were discussing this right before the show, a team that didn't look good last year. They were abysmal last year. But we didn't necessarily get to see what this team really was last year.
No. You didn't get to see what a lot of teams were last year.
And that's why I think you're going to have, maybe a dozen of bigger market teams that end up doing what State's going to. State's going to be maybe just above 500, maybe, I don't know, 2 games above 500, I'd say. But a win like this propels that team forward, and it's going to allow for them to keep building off of it, and it's going to allow for them to forget last year.
Yeah, like I said, I thought they looked good, especially like now that they finally looks like they have a competent offense. Good for them.
Competent head coach.
Who's
who's actually involved and wants to be there.
Yeah,
and it looked night and day from who he was last year.
Oh, 100% it did.
So. You still saw signs last year, though.
Right.
Like the fact that he came out and won some of those games showed you that he has the coaching ability.
Yeah.
That game against Michigan last year. I mean, Harbaugh had been there for 6 years,
right?
And Mel Tucker had been there for 6 days. Right. You know what I mean? And
basically what it was.
Yeah, and Mel Tucker was still able to get his team to beat Michigan, and that's you saw that he has the ability to coach. Right. Last year, and it's now with a full off season under his belt, a full season of him recruiting. He's now taking the reins, and you can see that.
Though in that game, it's not hard against a coach against a defensive coordinator who's not changing the game plan. You see what you've got, and you're just going to keep going against that.
Well, but still, you still have to come up with a game plan to do it. I mean,
right. And that's where you're absolutely correct.
You could go back and look at some just look at Michigan for the past few years and go, well, it's not hard to beat them. Yeah, I mean, we all fucking know that. But then again, when you've been there for all of 6 days almost, and I'm exaggerating, but when you've been there all of 6 days and you were dealing with COVID, you weren't able to get your team to practice, and you had basically no off season. And you were thrown into the mix. Just here you go. This is D'Antonio's shit that he didn't even pay attention to for 2 years, and take it and run with it. You could see that he has the ability to coach, and he's also known as a very good recruiter. So in a few years, Michigan State could be pretty well off.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic as you are in that, but part of me hopes you're right.
Now
I hope I'm wrong. But
now let me ask you this. Who are you more confident in, Mel Tucker or Dan Campbell?
Mel Tucker. Sorry, that wasn't for me.
It was not for you.
But I just felt I had to instantly answer that question.
Not often I would do this. Yeah. Ask me this next week.
Okay.
Let me see what Dan does on Sunday. And if Dan Campbell
but I think that's fair because we've seen what Mel Tucker does.
Are you laughing because I called him Dan?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So here's a question for all of us, and I'm going to answer it first. Who do you have more confidence in, Goofy from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or Dan Campbell? Goofy. Instantly Goofy.
Right.
Who do you have more?
I've not seen Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, so
who do you have more?
Again,
who do you have more faith?
Maybe ask me next week, and I'll watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when I go home.
Who do you have more faith in, Dan Campbell or Mr. Ed, the talking horse? Mr. Ed, the talking horse, instantly done. Like you could ask me that for anybody against Dan Campbell, I'm gonna say the other side of it, no matter what. Captain Kangaroo, done. Captain Kangaroo, more faith.
Did you watch the Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get one that I think I know how you'll answer.
Brian Kelly.
Really?
Yep.
Over Dan Campbell?
Absolutely.
After watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Kelly.
Because at least he was up by 18 at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to go with Brian Kelly.
I mean, Brian Kelly, you know exactly what you're getting.
Right. But
Brian Kelly is like the J.C. Penney of college coaches. It's just the most average place you can go.
That's a very good...
I think that's a solid analogy. I think that. Yeah, all right.
That's very good.
Just off the... He's just... It's not good. It's not bad. It's just there. It's going to do the job. You're going to be all right. But it's not going to be anything special.
You know what is special? Hi, guys. It's still near Flagstar Bank. If you're looking to refinance or even consolidate debt, there's no better time to do that than right now. Give my guy, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank a call today. at 248-752-3631. Rates are currently incredibly low, so trust me, don't miss out on this great opportunity. Also, mention this ad from Sports on Tap and get hooked up with $500 off. So once again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Dig it.
That was special.
Wasn't it?
It's not often that I don't know whether to respond or not, and I'm glad you went with it because I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm supposed to fall into this trap or not.
Joe just ignored it.
I
Joe
literally
ignores you.
I literally just sat here and like just staring at the computer. I didn't even bother looking or anything. Nothing.
Nice. Thanks,
I've-
guys. Appreciate it.
I've played into it every once in a while, but
Yeah.
I made the mistake a long time ago of falling into that trap once. I refuse to do it again. I'll play into it every once in a while just on my own, but that time I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm just gonna sit here.
I think that's.
I'll let you guys sit in an awkward silence for a few.
It's still.
Well, this is awkward.
It's still like that time, like when we were at a former radio host or whatever. We did that when we started the show and I literally just didn't say a word.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
It's pretty awkward when you're the person that brings the show in and they bring it in and you just sit there.
we literally for 30 seconds.
We all just and 30 seconds in radio and live broadcasting is an eternity.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
100%.
And we sat there for a good 30 seconds just staring at each other, basically playing word chicken.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because the first person to say a word was the loser, and I lost.
I just look at you guys. I'm like, I'm not saying anything.
For me, it's always very easy because other than the 1 week where I was supposed to do the accent, I'm never the first guy who talks.
Oh yeah, the accent.
the accent that never
The
even
accent
happened.
where we're just like, what the hell is that?
The accent that was supposed to be Australian, but was
Something.
not
Something
at
not
all.
Australian.
Something not Australian. I'm not even sure what kind of accent
For
it
those
was.
openers, I have no problem. Like, I can sit here in complete silence for 10 minutes. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because you're not the one that's supposed to
Right,
talk.
because I know I'm not probably going to be the one to talk unless it's just one of us or something.
And I hit a certain point on that episode, that show, where
You had to.
it was just so much dead air
Yeah.
that I just couldn't do it any longer.
We also had the audio person with us
Yeah.
at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah, oh, yeah.
remember
Yeah, it was
they
Kate-
were
Caitlin was there, yeah.
she was cracking up
Oh, she
the
was
entire
she was
time.
crying. She was
Yeah.
laughing so hard. Yeah, I remember that.
Like, for the betterment of the show, somebody needed to say something, and I'm glad you did.
yeah, because
Because I knew he was.
I wasn't gonna say a fucking
and
word.
I wasn't gonna be the one to be like, "Welcome to Sports on Tap." So you had to make that call at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was about 30 seconds too late, but yeah. I tried to play chicken and lost.
At least that's the time you played chicken and lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like you played it with a semi or something.
Yeah,
Wow.
that took a dark turn.
My mind goes to dark
I
places.
guess. Holy shit.
This guy here is dead.
Cross him off then.
Seriously, one of my favorite lines of all time. I love that. That's fantastic.
I didn't even know you had that drop. I'm glad I gave you a reason to use it, though.
I've been working on adding some drops periodically to
Okay.
the drop list. So
Well, going from that horrible situation to another, since we're gonna switch into NFL
Okay.
talk right now because
Yeah.
week one is this week with the Thursday night game starting with the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. But the horrible situation, obviously, with the hometown Detroit Lions and some of the other teams in the NFL, which being the Houston Texans, which I believe will go 0-17 this year. I absolutely believe that will happen.
No, we've seen this story play out numerous times. Tyrod Taylor is starting.
Yeah.
In a week, 2 weeks most.
he's going to get hurt.
He's going to get hurt.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson is going to come back. All of his legal problems are going to be magically solved. He's going to be the greatest quarterback that the NFL has ever seen. And that's just what Tyrod does. Like, when Tyrod starts, whoever his backup is,
It's like
yeah,
like Hall of Famer.
Look at
like
Baker
all-pro.
Mayfield right
Yeah.
now. Baker Mayfield was his backup.
Well, that season, it was his rookie year.
Yeah.
And he got hurt during it was the Monday night game against
Yeah.
the Jets. And or was it one of the night games, Thursday night.
Last year with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And then, last year with Justin Herbert, same thing.
Yeah.
But Deshaun Watson's not a rookie, though. That's the only difference.
I'm sorry. I just don't.
Until
I don't
it's
care.
proven wrong, I'm going with it.
I don't. Just even with the talent on the team, I don't care who the starter is. I still think they're going to go 0-17.
They're so bad.
That's a bad football team.
On paper, and let's be honest, it's all on paper at this point because we haven't seen a single regular season game. But on paper, I think they compare. They're a little bit worse than a team on paper than the Lions. And there's a few teams that are really bad on paper, and to me, Houston is the end all be all of bad teams on paper right now.
Oh yeah, they're going to be horrendous.
I mean, they're definitely the top of my list when it comes to that.
Yeah,
the only justification, the only argument that I was going to make with you about the Lions thing was, at one point the Lions did not have a kicker on their roster.
That is true,
and Houston
that is true.
did.
Yeah,
that is true.
So
I don't know. I do. I think they're going to go on 17. So, having said that, because I figure if you guys want to get into like just divisions and kind of what we think is going to happen in divisions, obviously we know we think is going to happen with the Houston Texans in the NFC South.
I'm always down.
South.
I'm always down to talk football, bro.
All right. Let's do this. AFC East. I'm just going to start off with the team that the division that my team is in. I do see Buffalo winning that division. However, I see the Dolphins coming a close second. I think the Dolphins are going to be solid. I do. And I think the Patriots are going to surprise some people, and I think the Jets are going to be the fucking Jets. They're going to suck.
I think the question mark in that entire division is, what does Mac Jones do?
I think Mac Jones is going to win Rookie of the Year.
And I agree with you on that.
I disagree on that on one count. I love Mac Jones' situation. I think he's going to play really, really well. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win Rookie, only because you brought it up.
I'm only saying that because of division. Like a bold prediction for a division, I think he's going to win. I think he's good out of that division. He's going to win.
Yeah, my bold prediction out of that division.
Oh, just out of that division that he wins Rookie of the Year? Okay.
No, well,
but obviously,
my bold prediction
overall.
My bold prediction for Rookie of the Year is also out of that division. Zach Wilson.
Fair enough. I dig it.
Zach Wilson.
Is his mom picking?
I've seen. His mom can do anything she wants to me. But when it comes down to it, don't shake your head. You know she's hot.
I didn't say she wasn't.
I was going to say nobody argued that.
The look on Chris's face when he shook his head, he's like, "What?"
I think Chris was like briefly imagining her mom doing anything to you.
No, I was taking into account her insanity and figuring
figuring that's exactly who I go for.
The hot crazy scale.
Yeah. Well, we know my judgment.
Yes, we do.
So
when we're up here on that matrix,
but when it comes
all
down,
bets are off.
When it comes down to it, I've seen enough from him.
Yep.
In watching some things over the preseason, I've watched some of the games they played. I've watched some of the practices. You know, I'm a fucking geek when it comes to football and football season. I really truly believe he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to take that team and do some things with it that you and I didn't see happening, because you and I both were not Zach Wilson fans going into this draft.
I'm still not.
I can't necessarily say I'm a fan, but I'm turning around a little bit.
You're at the point you're respecting what he does.
Yeah. I really am.
I can't say that I've seen a damn thing on him. I haven't watched 2 seconds of his play. I haven't. So this is a U2 argument, but I'm definitely with you, Chris, on the fact that I see Mac Jones taking Rookie of the Year.
I could absolutely 100% see that, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's Mac Wilson's going to be great in New England, I think. They made the smart.
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones, whatever. Mac Wilson.
We are all over the place with names right now.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. Mac Jones is going to be. Sorry, I got distracted with trying to. The rain was literally.
I was going to say it's storming outside.
The rain was literally like shooting in through the fan over here.
I figured that was.
And I was getting sprayed. So yeah, Mac Jones. He's in a perfect situation in New England. I mean, he's a very precise passer.
Yep.
And that's what.
And that's all that offense needs.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
We learned that last year.
He's been pinpoint accurate in the offseason. Out of all the rookies, he's been the most accurate by a mile. But out of all the rookie quarterbacks. So he's in a great situation. And the second most accurate quarterback through the preseason and through the offseason has been Zach Wilson. I think those two are going to fight it out for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Not that I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good year, but I think those two, it's going to be fun to watch those two in a division along with Miami and along with Buffalo. Like, that could be a really competitive division, more competitive than we thought it would be going into the season, because Mac Jones gives New England an opportunity they didn't have with Cam Newton. Like, nobody took them seriously with Cam Newton.
No.
Now you look at it and go, all right, if their defense can play some defense,
right,
he can pick apart defenses himself and be accurate. They have a shot at being competitive. Zach Wilson, I think, makes the Jets a little more competitive than Sam Darnold did. Just his presence there, from what I've seen, and again, this is me saying I was wrong.
Yeah,
and I'm admitting I think I was wrong at this point. But he could be more. He could make the Jets more competitive than we thought they were going to be. So it could be a really fun division to watch.
It could be. It could be absolutely a fun division to watch. Now, moving on to the AFC North, your division.
I will say, though, real quick, I do agree with you. I think your Bills will take that division.
Yeah, I do as well. I don't think it's going to be a runaway like a lot of people think.
No.
But I think they ultimately will win the division.
I think they're too good not to.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have some competition from Miami.
Yeah, I do too. I
Miami
think
is the big dog that's coming up to try and bite the ankles.
No,
of
I
Buffalo.
agree with you on that. I would absolutely agree with you on that. And again, like we just said, I think New England's going to be a lot more competitive than people thought they were going to be, because I think they'll actually have a competent quarterback who can actually throw the ball.
I think they're going to end up regretting trading Sonny Michel, though.
Maybe.
Because I think that running game's looking a lot weaker than it was before.
That is possible.
See, I beg to differ a little bit, and I'm going to get a little geeky here. J.J. Taylor is a guy.
Who?
J.J. Taylor.
He's a Bill Belichick guy.
He's a guy. He's a kid that you're gonna see some things from in the season here.
Never heard of him.
You will. I'm like, that's what I'm being geeky here. I know a lot of people haven't heard of him, but J.J. Taylor is one of those guys that he's gonna. You still got James White there, who is not really old James White. He's getting old James White, but you have J.J. Taylor who kind of takes on that similar role, and Damian Harris is a very good between the tackles runner. So you've got that 1-2 punch along with James White still there. I think that running back room is very good, and they also have Stevenson, who is a rookie, who has looked pretty solid, who's in that depth chart as well. But watch out for J.J. Taylor, man. He's going to show some things this year. I really believe that kid's going to show what he can do, and he's pretty talented.
Fair enough.
Anyway, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done nerding out for a few minutes. Go ahead.
Do you want to tell about the backup offensive line too?
I think you should have saved that for Sunday.
For real.
When it comes to football, I can talk football all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the AFC
It's not
North.
often you impress us, though.
Yeah, the AFC North, which is your team's division.
Yeah.
So you want to lead that one off? Kind of your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I see I'll start out from the bottom. I think Pittsburgh takes a huge dive this year, and I see them being at the bottom of that division.
Yep. They're in even more trouble if they don't sign TJ soon.
Well, and see, that's another situation. Is TJ Watt's not even going to play the first game of the year. He's already set to sit out. They're in contract, if you want to call it negotiations with him.
But they stated, like, once the regular season
they're
starts,
they're
not talking about it.
So they're at a stalemate.
You just may be playing without TJ Watt this year.
Yeah.
On a team that has nothing as it is.
They have a new running back out of Alabama who is going to be running behind an offensive line that would be better off with us three on it. And you have an aging Ben Roethlisberger who should have retired last year in many, many opinions, not just my own. So I think they finish at the bottom. I think the Bengals are right down there with them a little bit, but I think they will show some promise this year. I do like some of the pieces they have. And they have a good, solid core that's going to work their way up.
Just that offensive line, man.
Same thing with Pittsburgh. That offensive line is awful, but I think they have some really good pieces. They'll show some signs this year of improving. Next year, they need to address that offensive line. Yeah. Baltimore, they took a step back with losing a couple of their running backs, but they still have the other Harbaugh coaching them, which he's a damn good coach.
Yep.
He will get them to play. I still think they don't compete with Cleveland, though. Cleveland wins that division going away, in my opinion. I think they win that division with the same length in distance as Buffalo does.
Okay.
They might have some competition from Baltimore there, pulling up second, kind of close, but I think they will win that division ultimately.
I would agree with you. I do believe the Browns will win the division going away. I think the Ravens, I think Lamar Jackson will figure out how to throw a football finally. The the Steelers are going to be an absolute disaster, a dumpster fire, and Mike Tomlin will get fired after the season. I think Joe Burrow is going to get hurt again. I really do, because they didn't do anything to address the offensive line.
I know, I agree with you. I so hope you're wrong though, because
I do too.
He looks so good.
He does.
I
agree, but
he looked so good last year before he got hurt.
And my bold prediction coming out of the AFC North: Baker Mayfield will win the MVP
of the league.
Boom. Yes.
Wow. Holy shit. I
bet you didn't think to hear that from my fucking mouth.
I think you might have just stopped the show dead in its tracks. Look at Frank. You think I'm surprised? Holy shit. No, honestly,
like, you know how much I dislike Baker.
But you both hate Baker.
You can recognize games,
which is right, and that's how I feel about it. Like, I'll admit what he is. What I think, I don't think he's an MVP candidate.
That's fair.
But I think he's above a feasible quarterback. I don't think he's great. I would say he's definitely good.
I'm just going for bold predictions.
But yeah, wow.
I dig
it. Listen. Hey, I hope you're right, brother. I really do.
I do agree, though, in the sense that I feel like Pittsburgh is going to be the story of the year, with the fact that that's just how bad that team is
they're going to be. They're going to be bad.
Yeah,
they're going to be bad.
Unless Ben Roethlisberger has a time machine.
I think that Watt situation is going to be an absolute distraction to the entire season. They don't get something.
Does he finish the year there?
No.
Joe?
Does who finish the year there?
Does TJ finish the year in Pittsburgh?
That's tough to say. I think ultimately they work something out and he does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he eventually will play. Whether he sits out a couple weeks or not, I don't know. But I think he'll eventually be on the field for Pittsburgh, yeah.
I think if he doesn't show up by the time trade deadline rolls around, you have to at least entertain moving him.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. 100% you have to.
But as far as all that goes, yeah, I think it's hard to argue at this point. I think Cleveland's got that division locked.
Yeah, they're, especially if they can stay without injuries as opposed to last year.
Unless Lamar really, really fixed his game in the offseason.
Even that, I think Cleveland's just a better team.
I agree with
especially
you on
if they can stay, healthy.
If we're sticking in that division for just a second, though, I just want to say a little early fantasy stuff. Play Gus Edwards this week. I think he's going to have a good week. That's one of my picks for the week.
Okay.
Then we can roll on.
Nice. To the AFC South?
I'm just going to throw in some tidbits here and there. Man.
To the AFC South?
Yeah, AFC South. I mean, you've got the dumpster fire that is Houston.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going
to have arguably the two worst teams in football in that division. Well, you're going to have the worst football team in that division.
Yeah.
And then arguably the second
and then
worst
Jacksonville.
team.
Honestly, Jacksonville, I think, might surprise a little bit this year. I really do. I think people are not giving Trevor Lawrence enough credit. Here's another thing for you, fantasy wise or whatever. I think he probably. I'm looking at this game. I'm going to play him in my daily fantasy, and I believe he comes out and has a 4-touchdown game in this opening game.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Houston.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. All right then. Yeah, I can see that.
He's going to come out, throw 4 touchdowns, probably 300 yards. He's going to look good. Obviously, it's Houston, but I think he's gonna build some confidence as the season goes along, and I think you're really going to see who Trevor Lawrence really is and why he was drafted and why he was looked at the way he was looked at.
Okay, it's hard to disagree with that.
Yeah. He's got some receivers. Marvin Jones is on that team right now, and he's not a slouch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
DJ Chark.
You got Laviska Shenault. I mean, he's got some guys to throw the ball to. And James,
they don't have a great backfield, but they have a backfield.
James Robinson was all world last year,
yeah.
And he's back. He can receive out of the backfield. He's good between the tackles.
And their defense it's not always great, but it's always a okay defense.
I'm not saying they will compete for a playoff spot. I'm just saying I think they're going to surprise a little bit this year. They're going to catch a couple teams off guard and have a better record than you think.
Urban's my biggest question mark. Like, I want to buy in on it. I wanted to be excited about that move. But Urban Meyer is just – he's the reason why I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust. He's the reason why I feel like that team's going to be as bad as they're going to be. He's what I can't get past in that whole thing.
That was my bold prediction for that division, is that he won't even finish the season as coach. Not because he got fired, but he's going to resign. He's like, I can't handle this. And he's going to leave.
I could see that.
I absolutely believe 100% that's going to happen.
My bold prediction for that division, Indy takes it.
I could see it if it comes down to QB. If Carson Wentz, and we've talked about this ad nauseum with Carson Wentz, if that dude can even find some semblance.
I think he does.
Yeah.
I don't think he comes back and has like an MVP type year. But I think you look at him this year and go, he's on his way back.
Now, you know my thoughts on this, and I'm not changing my mind on this. I think the dude's done. I think he's washed.
Nope. Yep. You've said that many times.
So I will take the Titans to win that division. I think Tannehill's going to have a monster year. A monster year.
I agree with you on that.
I wish I had a bell. I wish I had a bell.
a drop.
Yeah, I could make a bell drop.
You could. But
I think, I kind of want to get one of those. Just we all should have a bell. But anyway,
we had one in a previous radio life.
We did in our previous radio life. We did. We apparently we didn't splurge for those in this one.
No.
All this really nice equipment. We couldn't get a damn bell.
Yeah, I know.
We should get 3 of them. But anyway, so Chris, I agree with you. I think Tannehill has a huge year this year. I think Derrick Henry takes a step back. I've been saying this for fantasy-wise purposes for people. Look at any running back who's had 2,000 yards and look at their next season. They tend to wear down.
Well, because they're carrying the ball so freaking much.
He had 400 carries last year.
That's a lot, man.
Like that's you look, he's going to take a little bit of step back, but they're going to do it on purpose too because they went out and got Julio.
Yep.
They have Ferkser as a tight end. They have weapons for him to throw the ball to. Tannehill's going to have a big year this year.
Yeah, I think he is too.
Not to mention he's mobile. I think he ran in 7 touchdowns last year. So
you can't not have a good year when you have Julio Jones and you have AJ Brown.
I think they're gonna be I don't want to say pass heavy, but they're gonna be more pass heavy than they have been.
Yeah, because they can now,
and because they don't want to wear down Derrick Henry,
right?
Because they see the big picture, they see the playoffs, they see a Super Bowl. Like they're gonna try not to wear him down as much as they did last year. Will they run him still? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to.
You have Derrick Henry. Why wouldn't you?
Right. But when it comes down to it, they're going to see the bigger picture, and I think that offense is going to be a little bit more pass-centric with them going out and getting Julio.
Yep.
And A.J. Brown and Julio on the field at the same time, and Julio's not washed up. I don't care what anybody says. He's still got enough left in the tank.
I was going to say, he might not be Julio Jones anymore, but he's still damn good.
Yeah, and I think Tannehill, I think, here's my bold prediction. Tannehill could be in the running for MVP.
Yeah. I think he absolutely could be in the running for it. Well, not, yeah, I don't disagree with that.
He could be in the talks for MVP, and that's what kind of year I believe he can have, and that's why I think they win that division. Do I think Indianapolis battles for it, and they're right there with them? I do. I think Wentz has a really decent year this year with Indianapolis, with Frank Reich as the coach, who was with him in Philly when he had his career year.
Right.
And I think they do really well this year. I think Wentz does really well. They just won't be able to get past the Titans. I think the Titans take that division.
All right.
Your bells will be here next week, boys.
Oh, did you just order?
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, you guys were talking. I just went ahead, jumped on there.
So I wish I hit a bell. We're moving on to the AFC West. The AFC West, I mean, obviously that's the Chiefs division. I think the Broncos are still going to suck because they don't have a quarterback. The Raiders, my bold prediction for this division is John Gruden won't finish the season.
You got a lot of coaches not.
I do. I'm sorry, man. I don't think
you did say this though a few times in the offseason that you think there's a couple coaches that I don't see they're on the hot seat so bad that they may not make it through the season.
He should be. He absolutely
is going to be.
And I don't see him making it through the year. I don't.
I mean, I don't want to jump on your coattails here, but Gruden should be fired. He shouldn't even be starting the season at this point. But you give a guy a 10-year contract.
You got to produce at some point, man.
But that's a Davis family move.
Yeah.
Well, they've basically had to go back through and redraft positions they've already drafted high at.
Yeah.
Because they realize already they got it wrong, and it's not just one or two. It's like multiple positions they've had to do that at.
Hit the grind my gears. You want to grind my gears?
Okay.
You know what really grinds my gears?
The fact that John Gruden thinks he knows more than everybody else. That's John Gruden's biggest problem. And I mentioned this last year. John Gruden thinks because he likes this guy is instantly going to be better than the 20 guys who are rated higher than him. And that's what he does. He tries to grab the guys that nobody looks at and says, "Oh, I really like this about their game." Al Davis used to draft receivers just because they were fast.
Sounds like Bob Quinn.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Trying to be the smartest dude in the room.
Yep.
Except the problem is that Gruden has a sort of a history that allows people to believe that he knows what he's doing.
Right.
You can't. There's a way that the NFL is set up now where the best players are the ones they tell you are the best players. There's a few sleepers here and there.
Yeah.
Nobody hits 100%.
No.
But John Gruden, very, very rarely are you going to reach down 20 spots lower than the pick you're picking at and grab a guy and go, "Oh, he's going to be the next big thing."
Yeah.
And by the way, fuck you for trading Khalil Mack and then trying to trade back for him this year. As soon as I saw they were trying to trade back for him, I was like, "You motherfucker."
I saw
Seriously?
that, and I started laughing. I'm like, Frank's got to love that.
Like, it takes a lot to get me pissed off about a football team, but Gruden has managed to do it. And I bit hook, line, and sinker on that dude. I was really hoping he was going to be the guy to turn that program around. And it's been, I'm not going to say a joke, but it's been below average football.
Well, and speaking of below average football and the Raiders, I think they're going to be abysmal this year.
No, I think that's a very real possibility.
I really think roster-wise, they're probably middle of the road, but I see them shit in the bed this year. I really do.
I like the D-line. I like nothing else on that defense.
Well, you've got three other teams in that division. I'm giving the Broncos more credit than you.
That's fair.
I think Teddy Bridgewater is a serviceable quarterback and will do
He's
do
gonna
well.
Be better than Drew Lock.
Yeah, and he'll do well enough.
I mean, that's not exactly a high bar,
It's
but
not.
he will be better than Drew Lock, yes.
He'll be serviceable enough that he can make some throws, and they've got some receivers on the team. They got Cortland Sutton, they got Jerry Judge Judy. They've got Tim Patrick still is on that team.
Yeah,
and they have a rookie running back who by all accounts is an all around back, and they have Melvin Gordon. I think that offense is going to do really well if that defense can play a little bit better than they did last year. They're going to be a team to compete with in that division. So that division is a competing Denver Broncos team, the Chiefs who are all worldly, and the Chargers who are up and comers who should have won more games than they did last year because of Anthony Lynn and his in-game coaching.
Right.
I was going to say the Chargers are my pick for a wild card team this year. I don't think they're going to take that division just because Kansas City is Kansas City.
Right.
I'll say this.
But I think the Chargers very well could be top wild card seed.
I'll say this. I think fucking the Chargers will. I think they will push the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs will take a slight step back this season.
Yeah.
Just because they
that
played so much.
line's completely retooled.
They've played so much football in the past 3 years. At some point, it will catch up with you.
Yeah, it has to.
So I think they will take a slight step back this year, but I do believe they still will win the division.
Right.
But I do believe the Chargers will push them. And I do believe, I agree with Frank on this, I do believe they'll be a wild card team.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I just don't think anybody's going to be good enough to topple Kansas City.
Yeah, I actually agree with both those assessments. I think KC might take a step back, but a step back for KC is
instead of
it's
going
not
like,
that much.
Instead of going like 13 and whatever, you're going to go. Yeah, you might lose one more game.
Right.
And I think the Chargers will push them a little bit. I don't think they're going to push them as much as maybe you guys do. I do love the Chargers long term. I don't think this is necessarily a year for them. I think they have a chance at getting one of those playoff spots, though. You're right. I do think they have a chance at getting one of those playoff spots. I'm not sure they're going to compete when they get there, but
when you've got Denver on your schedule twice, and the way all of us are kind of looking at the Raiders twice, there's 4 wins for you already. Like I'm sure they're going to be able to piece together at least 3 or 4.
Well, like I said,
to get a wild card spot.
I think Denver's going to be more competitive than you think. So I don't chalk those two up as just 2 victories for them. The Raiders, yes.
Frank, who is a victory?
Who's a victory? I know what you're trying to do, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you. You want to throw it into you want to throw it into this?
No, let it rip, baby.
Whether you're buying or selling your home now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson of the Joe Wright Group a call today. Phone number is 248-535-4750.
I tried to lob that one up to you, man.
I know you did. You can't do that when I'm not expecting it, though.
Fair enough.
Because then I'm just going to have fun with you on it.
That was so great.
That's how Joe ended up doing a fucking read for 2 months.
that was so great though, because I'm like, oh, as soon as I heard you say that, I was like, I'm getting the logo ready to go for Joe Wright Group, and then nothing. I was like,
crickets. Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, you can't blindside me like that one. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was coming.
Well, I figured
Chris waited.
There's another one for you.
Chris waited until you turned your head and then whipped the football right at your face.
Yeah, for real.
It was kind of like, gotcha.
I figure since we were switching conferences, that was like a good time to do it.
It was a good segue. Yeah,
I think it was a good time to do it.
Just next time, let the guy who's reading know that it's a good time to do it.
Yes, I will. I'll try to lob a better one up to you next time and let you know.
Yeah, let me just see the ball
when
you're lobbing it.
Here, I'm gonna throw this to you. Hit it.
Like here.
Yes, go. But yes, good read though. Even though I kind of biffed that one, but what are you gonna do? It happens.
You know
they can't all be home runs, man.
No, they can't.
They can't all be winners.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We got through the read. It doesn't matter.
Speaking of it is what it is, the fucking NFC East. Dude, would it not surprise you? Maybe I'm the only one in this room that thinks this. If that division just went as shitty as it did last year, like that, all teams were under 500.
He's not.
I don't see it.
Before you're talking to Fitzmagic's number one fan over here.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it wouldn't shock me in the least if it did happen.
The other three teams, I absolutely agree.
Right.
I don't think Dallas. Well, Dallas
is going to don't.
No, I said a few weeks
ago
that they could be. Yeah, like trust me, I'm in on Dallas, but there's also the other side of me that looks at Dallas and goes, no, Dallas could be the exact same fucking team they were last year.
Now, if you're looking at the Giants in Philly, even though I'm a huge fan of the quarterback in Philly,
Giants are gonna, to be honest with you, Giants are. We want to talk, hot takes or whatever we're calling them. Giants are my take to be possibly the worst team in football.
They're gonna be down there.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie to you. They're gonna be down there, and so will Philly. I don't think either one of those teams compete, but I think Washington is a dark horse for a deep playoff run, and Dallas. I think Dallas is going to compete this year, unless they lose Dak again.
Yeah.
Right,
they're going to compete.
I just got to see that he's healthy.
Well, and that he's been deemed 100% healthy. So
yeah, I just got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, well, I know you're one of those guys. You and even when you see it,
he's not healthy.
Yeah,
even when you see it, you're still going to doubt it. That's the way you are.
Right.
I get it.
I have trust issues. It just happens.
I think Washington wins that division because I think their defense is that good.
Agreed.
Yes.
And I think Dak throws for over 5,000 yards this year.
Okay.
Absolutely. With that extra game especially. I think 5,000 yards
and that's the thing.
I mean, you look at the receiving core, you look at Zeke, you look at that.
I think he throws for over 5,000
That offense
yards
is a powerhouse if it's all moving.
Yeah. But their defense is still going to be atrocious.
Actually, I'll give him 5,000 yards and possibly 40 touchdowns.
I don't
know.
Yeah.
The defense is not good by any means. That linebacking core, though, I have really bought in hard on. I love that linebacking core with Jalen Smith and Micah Parsons.
They still can't cover anybody.
Jalen Smith needs to play like he did 2 years ago.
Yep. You've got to be able to take last year out of the equation.
Micah Parsons is a rookie, so he's going to have some slip-ups, but I do love Micah Parsons. We all know that. I was a huge fan of.
You got Van Der Esch
and Van Der Esch again, same thing. But he needs to play like he did 2 years ago instead of last year.
He needs to stay
and I know
healthy.
he was hurt.
That too.
That's exactly it. He's gotten hurt quite a few times, and
but if that linebacking core can take that step and get back to where they were, the defensive line's instantly going to look better. The defensive backs are going to have it's bad, but if that particular spot can improve to where I think it can go, then I think that defense will take the step.
That defense is one reason why I think Dak throws for 5,040 touchdowns, though.
He has to,
because he's going
to be Russ Wilson last year.
He's going to have to. He's going to be throwing all game long.
You're going to have to hope to win games 52-48.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Moving on to the NFC South, I think the Buccaneers run away with this division.
Not even close.
Yeah, I think that the rest of the teams in that division. I think the Saints will finish under 500. That's my bold take from the division.
I think 500. I think the Saints finish last in that division.
Fair enough. I don't disagree with that either.
Atlanta looks so bad that I don't know.
The fight for last in that division is going to be epic.
And Carolina, who's starting in Carolina? Did they name?
Darnold.
Is Darnold starting?
Darnold, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure who they had ended up naming starter. I hadn't heard anything out of Carolina. I mean, you got Darnold, you've got Christian McCaffrey. So, I mean, you've got something there.
They've got a good receiving core. Robbie Anderson was with Darnold in New York.
Yeah.
They have DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And they've got a decent offense going there. And Darnold actually looks better than he did in New York, truthfully. Which
it's hard to look worse.
Well, that's
right.
I mean, you have a better head coach,
right? So I mean, well, yeah, you don't have Adam fucking Gaze coaching you, so that's.
I love how every episode we get an Adam Gaze. You
had to bring it up.
I did.
Yeah, you don't have Adam fucking Gaze coaching you, so you're obviously going to look better. But I think they're going to be okay. Yeah. But again, nobody in that division is going to compete with Tampa.
Yeah,
and they're all three going to be competing for last place. Truthfully. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they're going to be like only 1 or 2 wins competing for last place, but in that division, they're gonna all win like 5 or 6 games competing for last place.
Yeah, the Bucs are going to run away with that division. It's not even going to be close.
Like, I honestly believe that Tampa Bay could only throw a defense out there against those teams and still beat some of them. I mean, like their defense may outscore some of those.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton, but I mean, I can't necessarily disagree with that. We got NFC West. Who wants to hit the NFC West first?
Quebec, go ahead.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. I look at this division and I just look at a 4-team clusterfuck of above mediocrity. I don't look at great teams, but I think you have 4 teams that are all kind of sitting right about the same spot.
Okay.
It's going to be super competitive. As far as a winner, honestly, I see a situation where Lance takes over and San Fran wins that division. That's what I see happening.
I actually agree with you on this. I think the Niners will win that division. It provided health from last season. I think the 49ers will absolutely win that division. And I think the Sea Chickens will finish dead last in the division. Yeah. And then Russell Wilson will be like, I'm fucking done. I'm out.
I think Rams are also going to be a wild card team.
Yeah, I do as well. 100%. But yeah, that's my bold take is this year will be the year that Russell Wilson says, I'm done.
He's going to have to.
Yep. And they're finally going to look at Pete Carroll and be like, is this the guy?
It's not. It never has been, but personal opinion.
I agree with San Fran taking that division. I think San Fran actually runs away with it. I think L.A. gets a wild card spot, but I think San Fran just dominates the division. With Jimmy G or without Jimmy G, because with Jimmy G, he's proven he can get them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Without him, you got Trey Lance coming in there who brings another dynamic element to the game that you don't have to game plan for when Jimmy G's in there. So, and I think Shanahan is the type of coach that if that happens, he's already got shit drawn up for Lance to come in the game and take over. So I think San Francisco runs away with that completely. Their run game is just going to be dominant. Here's another one for you. Here's a bold prediction. Raheem Mostert, first game of the year, 200 yards and at least 2 touchdowns. He's playing against Detroit. Fucking play him and Sermon in your fantasy lineups. Get him in your DFS.
Right.
Raheem Mostert, the first week of the year going against Detroit, is going to run all over them.
I'm glad you brought up the Lions because we're headed to the NFC North.
I just want to make one more comment about San Fran.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's going to be a situation where Garoppolo's going to be the starter, but I think Trey Lance comes in and takes that job. I don't think anything happens with Garoppolo. I think Trey Lance just gets to a point where you can't deny that he's the starter in the future of that team.
I don't think you're wrong.
No, I could absolutely see that.
Like I think Jimmy G's going to end up in a starting job somewhere next year. He's going to be absolutely fine. Nothing's going to hurt. Nothing they does this year is going to hurt his name or his contract or anything. I just think Trey Lance is going to end up taking that job from him.
Yeah. NFC North.
Oh, and also, speaking of NFC North, play the San Francisco defense in your DFS league as well.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Because
just play San Francisco altogether.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think their passing game is going to be that great. They might have some, but they're not going to be passing much. They're going to get up in that game and they're going to run the ball down the Lions' throat, and they're not going to be able to stop them. Period. That's what's going to happen.
Mostert just better hope that Dan Campbell doesn't bite off his fucking kneecap.
Well, if he does, then Trey Sermon's coming in the line.
Then he's going to lose kneecaps too.
All right,
we'll bite off all the kneecaps.
Frankie, you want to start off the NFC North?
Yeah, it's gonna suck. No, I mean it might sound stupid, but I've said it the entire time. Green Bay's gonna run away with this thing. Aaron Rodgers is on a warpath. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be the best team in football, but they will handedly take this division.
Okay.
I mean, Chicago is Chicago. Everybody who's listening knows that I don't have a lot of faith in Justin Fields. I've hated on this man continuously. I will not pick a last place team in this division because I'm not going to pick the Lions. But the Bears might be the second worst team in this division.
Okay, that's saying something. Yes, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a monster year.
Yes.
Because I think he's just angry and he's going to have a monster year.
And he's playing for a contract. Which is true. The Lions are just going to be horrendous. They just a fact. They're going to be bad. I think the Bears are going to be significantly better than people give them credit for, and I think Justin Fields will end up starting.
I 100% agree with you on that. I'll wait for my turn, but I agree with that.
He will be battling for Rookie of the Year, 100 with Mac Jones. I think it'll be 1-2 with them as the who wins Rookie of the Year. So that is my bold prediction for that division, if you want to call it that.
My bold prediction for that division is the Lions actually win one game. And then
your bold prediction is the Lions winning a game.
Yep.
The sad part is I don't know if the bold part is them losing 16 games or them winning one.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
I don't know that I'll be able to.
In all seriousness, Green Bay runs away with that. Aaron Rodgers has another career year. Minnesota, middle of the road. Cousins is serviceable. He's got Thielen, who took a step back last year, but really did nothing.
Actually, I'm going to change my bold prediction for this division. This year, Dalvin Cook actually stays healthy.
Well, he's only missed 2 games last year and the year after that, the year before that. I mean, 2 games last year, 2 games the year before.
I already beat you to that argument. We had this discussion on Sunday.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, in an NFL,
just give it up because win or lose, you're just gonna lose this.
No, I'm just gonna throw out facts. Last year he played 14 games. The year before that he played 14 games. If you can name a running back that doesn't miss 1 or 2 games in a season, that he's missed 2 games the last 2 years.
Okay.
That's not injury prone. The year before that, where he got injured for the year, yes, that is.
Okay,
but yeah,
fair enough.
So I even if he misses a couple games, it's still not a big deal. I think they still finish middle of the road.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's not going to be enough to change what that team is going to be.
No,
you know he's still going to be dynamic whenever he's in there.
Bold prediction.
Bold
prediction time.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers starts for Minnesota next year.
You think he's going to go the?
I think we go complete Brett Favre on this.
The Brett Favre.
Yeah, I think we just skip New York though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look at Minnesota and I go, why wouldn't they? It's a good team.
Yeah.
They've got everything they need minus a quarterback.
I still think he ends up in Denver. I really do.
I mean, it's a good possibility he does.
But I could absolutely see him ending up in Minnesota as well. But
just as a big fuck you.
Yeah. But I still think he'll end up in Denver.
And I think he could I think Brett Favre could be the one to talk him into it.
See, that'd be tough because you got either Brett Favre or you're talking to John Elway. Like which one you want to go with?
Yeah, but in my opinion, in that situation, I'd go Favre because Favre had the bad exit from Green Bay, so he kind of understands the organization that you're leaving,
right?
And can tell you this is what they're going to do differently. This is where things are going to be better for you. This is what you're not going to like,
right?
You know, when the roof caves in because there's too much snow on the Metrodome, it's a downfall to go and play in Minnesota.
We've got some messages here. It says Darnold sucks.
Well, yeah.
And then another one is bold pick. Falcons make the wild card.
Ooh.
Okay.
So somebody else agrees with me that the Falcons might be better than you think.
That is Andrew.
Oh, okay.
Based on his picks this past week, I mean, I have a hard time saying
no
might not be right, but.
Yeah.
No, they still have Matt Ryan, Andrew. Come on now.
But I like the boldness of it. That's awesome. I
dig
it. I dig it.
And that you said it. It's a bold take.
I dig it. That's awesome.
I know you're a smart guy. They still have Matt Ryan. Come on now.
All right. So my bold pick for this division is the Bears make a wild card with Justin Fields at quarterback, and they compete in this division. And the Lions are by far the worst team in this division. They finished last by a mile. And Minnesota's middle of the road.
Yeah.
Chicago makes a wild card with your boy Justin Fields. And beats the Lions twice. And Green Bay runs away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
I have Lions with 4 wins, 2 of them against Chicago.
Okay.
I'm not changing that.
You don't have to, but
I will go down on that. I will go down with that ship. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't say you're going to go down on that ship like you almost did.
Yep, almost did.
But yeah, I mean, when it happens, you're going to have to change your mind because it's going to happen.
Right.
The Bears will beat the Lions twice.
I'm still
with
planning
or without
on
Fields. Even if it's the red rifle, the red BB gun.
By the way, I do have an update for you on this drinking out of my shoe thing.
Oh.
I started a new position at my work.
Yeah.
So I'm literally on my feet for 10 straight hours the entire time.
Woo.
And there's no air conditioning in that area. So.
Wait. Not.
Oh yeah, we have
so,
just up. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what? No, this I don't even care about that because what we bet on is not going to fucking happen. So I don't have to worry about drinking out of the boot. What do you do that you're on your feet for 10 hours a day?
I am in what's called the body shop. I am where the automobile starts to be assembled, as in like welded together.
Oh.
So I am loading up welding machines and shit like that, and I'm basically running all around back there.
Oh.
Yeah.
No shit.
And
all right. Well,
sounds like a hoot. He's like, no.
It's not bad. I'm actually really enjoying it.
So why did that change come about? Did you ask for it?
Yeah, I essentially had asked for it. I had just gotten sick of dealing with the bullshit I was dealing with in my prior position, and said, you know what, it's time for a change. And
cool.
Obviously, being in the auto industry, finding those type of perks at other places isn't the easiest. So rather than just leaving the entire company, I just left that department and said, hey, you know what, let's try something else out.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's good news.
I like it.
Yeah.
Still not going to be drinking out of your boot because there's no fucking way the Lions have a winning record.
And these boots are going to be so much worse than before now.
There is no way the Lions have a winning record.
None. Absolutely not. Will not happen. As much as I want to see this, but no, they're not going to have a winning record.
We'll find a way to make this happen.
All right.
I also made a bet with one of the truck drivers that comes into my work all the time.
Okay.
It was a bet that the Lions will not win more than 6 games. And he's going to buy pizza for the whole staff.
Oh, nice.
Or I have to.
Pizza of your choice? Or his choice?
Jets.
Okay.
So we're not even going cheap either.
No,
we're going quality.
Jets barbecue chicken, and we're giving out free advertising.
That's really good too.
The Jets barbecue chicken is
really
fucking fantastic.
Listen, previous employer, they were always wonderful to me. I'll get free advertising all day long.
But yeah, so that was our bet, and we got into a kind of a heated discussion. It was me saying what they're going to be, and him saying, well, how do you know what they're going to be because they haven't even played a game yet? And then he also proceeded to say, well, they're going to have a top 5 offensive line. And I said, how do you know they haven't played a game yet? So
there you go.
so I mean, you can have all your opinions in the world, but when you look at that roster up and down,
there's
you look
so
at
many
it and go,
things to say about that top offensive line comment.
Yeah. Yep. But so yeah, I have another bet riding on the Lions not winning many games as well. Right. So I'm just going to continue making bets on the Lions not winning games.
I love the idea of them having a top offensive line, but even sitting here wearing the Penei Sewell jersey, like this dude's got to show me something. He's not looked.
Well, when they drafted him, I was told he was going to be an All-Pro.
And I bit hard enough on that I bought a fucking jersey right away.
Yes, you did.
But yeah, I'm seeing the hype there. I'm just not seeing the play backing it up.
Why does that seem to be a familiar pattern with the Detroit Lions and high draft picks?
Well, and here's where I'm gonna actually stick up for the Lions and one of the Lions players in Sewell. He is switching positions.
Yeah.
Right. And he is
going from left to right. You've got to reverse everything.
And he is only 20 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's not like last year where I was ready to say you guys fucked up with Okudah.
Right.
I'm willing to give Sewell time only because I actually think he's a great player. I think
which is why I left it at I've got to see something out.
Right.
Like he's to this point not played great.
Right.
If I see something and this team can step it up, like yes, on paper this offensive line looks very good. But I've also watched this team for 34 years, and this offensive line has looked even better than this at times, and they've been
the year they signed Wagner and Lang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone had him as a top 5 offensive line that year too.
Yeah,
but okay,
like it's just it's the story with this team, and I'm not saying it's a curse. I'm not saying it's any of that shit, but it's just tradition at this point.
Yeah,
hype up a spot, and they're going to be ass.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
You're not going to get a disagreement from me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hype them up. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also gonna be the one to deliver the unfortunate news of sorry guys, everybody's right. Like they're gonna suck.
They are, yes.
Like I want everyone to be wrong.
But I'm glad, Joe, you brought up like making all these new bets and stuff about the Lions because I like some of the picks.
All right.
Yeah.
It's time!
So the picks from last week, the three of us in this room did not exactly have a stellar week.
No.
1-4 across the board.
1-4 across the board. So, and again, thank you, Ryan Kelly, for playing a soft-ass defense and having Florida State cover, assholes. So this week we're kind of looking for redemption. At least I am, anyway.
Me too.
Yeah. We're going to give you some college games and the Thursday night game this week, and then for Sunday, our fantasy show, we're going to dive more into the NFL games for that week.
So keep in mind our NFL show on Sundays is now going to we're gonna make our picks for NFL on that day, but the Thursday game obviously we'll make on Tuesday. So we're gonna make some college picks and the Thursday night NFL, and then stay tuned tune in to us on Sunday, I should say.
10:30
at 10:30.
Yes.
And we'll be making picks for all the NFL games that day and on Monday, and giving you fantasy advice, betting advice,
100%,
and just our thoughts on every game. So it's going to be fun. Please tune in for that.
Yeah.
I may even fall asleep at the desk.
I'm going to make mimosas.
Ooh, yes, really?
No.
No, I just say that.
How about Bloody Marys?
No.
I'll bring my own.
All right, you bring your own then. Get some McClure's.
I will be drinking a Bloody Mary while I'm doing the Sunday fantasy show.
Sounds good.
That is happening.
I dig it. That's perfectly fine with me. I dig it.
Allison, if I bring the stuff, can you make me a Bloody Mary?
I'm sure she would too.
I didn't hear an answer.
Yeah, I didn't either.
All
right.
Let's hit it.
So, yeah, let's get into the picks.
Let's get into the picks. We'll start off with the Oregon Ducks traveling to the toilet bowl that is Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to take Oregon. They're getting 14.5.
Oregon's getting 14.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to take Oregon to cover that. Absolutely.
All right. I'm just going to say I'm going to take the opposite of that. I'm taking Ohio State.
Okay.
I think they're going to try to put the beat down on them. It's a ranked opponent. They're going to try their best to beat him by as many as they can. They're not going to let off the gas like your boy Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
And they're gonna actually put their foot on the throat, and they're gonna win that game by more than 14.5.
All right, Frank, what say you?
I'm just thinking back to watching that game last week against Minnesota, and Ohio State didn't look like the team that I expected them to look like. And I understand that part of that is the fact that Minnesota looked a lot better than the team I expected them to look like.
I think their defense looked a little suspect.
But
Ohio State's.
Yeah. I'm hearing the 14.5 points has completely changed it. I was taking Ohio State before that. Hearing the 14.5. I think Oregon at worst will cover.
Okay. Moving on to the Iowa Hawkeyes versus the Iowa State Cyclones in a rivalry game that wasn't played last year because of COVID, so they're bringing it back this year, which I'm happy about. It's generally a good game. I'm going to take Iowa State. They are laying 4.5, and I'm going to pick the Cyclones to win this rivalry game.
Okay, Joe.
Iowa State's given up 4.5.
Yep.
I'm going to take Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa put the beat down on Indiana.
Yeah, they did
in the first week.
They sure did,
and they look really fucking good. They might not win this game, but I think they keep it within a field goal.
Okay.
I'm going with Iowa State for no other reason than just gut feeling. I know nothing about Iowa. I know nothing about Iowa State. So
the reason I took it because the game is in it's
Iowa.
It's Iowa State. It's at Iowa State, I believe. So that's the only reason why I took the 4.5. Next, we got the Washington Huskies coming to the Big House to play the Michigan Wolverines. I'm going to take Michigan laying 6.5. I know Washington's going to be upset coming off of losing to Montana in week 1 or week 2, whatever you want to call it. But I still think Michigan wins this game, and I believe they cover the 6.5.
I'm right there with you. I don't necessarily think Michigan is that great.
Neither do I.
But I think they are able to beat Washington by more than 6.5. I think Washington is a little bit of a fraudulently ranked 20 at this point. And I think Michigan is good enough to beat them by 6.5.
And not to mention they're traveling across the country to play that game.
Right. So, yeah, I'm with you on there. I think Michigan I'll take Michigan.
Yep.
I'm going to say something I don't often say, and that is that the University of Michigan really impressed me this past week. The coaching, it was the difference. The players, obviously, it's not that big of a change, but the coaching, what Chris was saying before about what he wanted Brian Kelly to do, I felt Michigan did. Michigan did put their foot on their throat.
Yeah, and they made adjustments when they needed to.
Yeah, and you were spot on with that analysis. After seeing that, I'm going to buy in on a little bit of U of M, and I'm going to take them. I don't think they have any issue winning this game.
Okay. I think honestly, I think it'll be a good game, but I do think Michigan will cover the 6.5.
And we got a couple of messages here. It's Andrew again. He took Iowa State and he's taking Michigan.
Okay.
So just throwing that out there.
What did he take for the Ohio game?
He didn't say.
Oh, he's not. Oh,
he's abstaining from that, or he's whatever. He's abstaining. He's abstaining.
All
yeah,
right.
I don't know why. Yeah, he's abstaining from that one.
Our guest picker for the week again, who went 4-1 last week.
Oh man,
motherfucker.
The last college game we're doing is Youngstown State traveling to East Lansing to take on Michigan State Spartans. There is no line for this game, at least one that I can find. I don't know if you guys have tried to find one.
I think Joe's gonna look here.
Yeah, give me Michigan State.
I'm looking. I don't see a line.
I didn't see a line either.
He took Ohio State on that one.
Did he? Okay. Yeah, but I will absolutely take Ohio or Michigan State. I don't even care what they're laying. I'm taking Michigan State to cover it if there is even a line that comes out.
Yeah,
I'm sure there will be, but
there will be. I think this one we have to take just straight up.
Yeah, straight up.
We don't have a line.
Michigan State.
So obviously I'm going to take Michigan State.
Yeah.
Depending on what the line is, unless it's something crazy like 37 and a
yeah,
half.
if it's something like that, then.
But yeah, I think Michigan State wins this. No matter what line they come out with, I think Michigan State wins this.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, it's a Sparty party for me.
Okay.
Sparty party.
Sounds good.
Sparty party.
And then we'll move on to the Thursday night game that starts off the NFL season, which I know, Joe, you're jacked about.
I am. I cannot even tell you how pumped I am right now.
Right?
I just can't. I'm so fucking pumped right now.
The Dallas Cowboys travel to the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm gonna take the Cowboys getting 8.5. You see this all the time with teams.
I have 8 right now.
I saw it was 8.5.
Okay,
so
we'll go off 8.5.
Fair enough. But you always see it like teams that like their first home game after winning a championship. There's all the they raise the banner and all that shit, and they tend to come up flat for whatever reason. I don't know why this is the case, but they do.
A lot of excitement building up.
Yeah, and then you
realize you have to play a game.
Right, you're hyped up, and then it takes so long for the game to actually begin that you kind of waste all that energy that you were all jacked up for. So, that being said, I do believe the Cowboys will cover the 8.5, but I believe Tampa Bay will win the game.
I'm taking Tampa Bay to cover the 8.5.
Okay.
I think they win this game by probably 14 points.
Okay.
I look at this game. I think Tampa gets up early. I think Dak has to throw it most of the game because they're down, and I think they'll score points. Don't get me wrong, but I think Tampa wins this by more than 8.5 or more than 8, whichever line you want to go off of. Either one, it's still got to be 9 points. So
right.
Yeah, I think they win this game by 9 or more. And I'm going to just throw this out there because a little fun thing for you. It's the DFS lineup that I would pick for tomorrow night's game, just the five players that you would pick. I would take Dak as my MVP because I think he's going to have to throw it all game long.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb right below him because I think CeeDee Lamb is gonna take the top off of some defenses this year. And I think he's the receiver I choose out of that group. Gio Bernard, I think he's going to be the back to watch in Tampa this year. Cast off Jones, cast off Fournette. There's a reason they went out and got Gio Bernard, and it's because Tom Brady wanted his receiving back just like James White. Gio Bernard is going to be a guy to watch this year on Tampa. I'm taking Tom Brady and Antonio Brown. That's my 5 for my DFS lineup for Thursday night.
Nice.
Okay. I think that if I'm coming back from the injury that Dak's coming back from, the last thing I want to see in the first meaningful game that I got to play is the best defense that we've seen in a long time. And I think that Tampa defense is one of the better ones that we've seen in some years. So I think Tampa has absolutely no issue winning this game. I think they cover no problem. I'm not going to go with an exact score, but this could be a 3-score game in my opinion.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I just got late breaking news. Allison says, of course, as long as it's McClure's Bloody Mary mix.
It has to be McClure's.
Which I love McClure's. It might be Vivio's though.
Oh, Vivio's good too. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Because Vivio's is
good.
the shit.
Yeah, it's
Those mixes right there for Bloody Marys
Yeah,
are
it's
like
good.
1A and 1B for
I'm
me.
very
Like, they're
picky
right
about
there.
my Bloody Mary mix, but Vivio's is really good. I'm with you on that one. Yep.
Yeah. So as long as it's one of those two, I appreciate it. That'd be great.
Yep.
And you can make my Bloody Marys for me.
Nice.
And Andrew has actually called his shot with this NFL
Yeah,
game.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yes. He is taking the Cowboys to cover with a TD being scored at a minute 22 to go in the fourth.
Oh, shit. All
Yeah.
right.
Talk about bold
That's
predictions.
very specific, but I like it.
That's very bold.
All right.
Hey, I like
dig
it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Hey, if
All right. Those are the picks.
Those are the picks.
So,
Yeah.
and then like we talked about before, we're going to have all the NFL picks on Sunday for our live show at 10:30.
Yeah.
It's only going to be live. So
Yep.
tune in live on all of our social media. It's going to be out there, SOTDET.com, on Twitch, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's going to be the live show going out. It's not going to be a podcast version. So tune in live Sundays at 10:30.
100%. Please. We'd greatly appreciate it. You got the Cameo Shit Show?
Yeah, I have a Cameo Shit Show. It's the one I told you guys about last week.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a longer one, but it is just what the title says. It is Cameo Shit Show.
Fair enough.
Happy birthday, Charlie. Happy 8th birthday from my 8-year-old son and myself. I am Tom Arnold, a.k.a. Stanley Stupid. I guess I'd make you Bug Hall. And then I have a daughter, too, just like the Stupids. She's right there. Younger. She's younger.
She's 5?
She's 5. Is she 5.5? Wow. Listen, I'm going to sing you a song for your birthday, special for you. I just watched The Stupids with my kids, and we had a really nice time. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Charlie, this is for you, and I can't remember the words, so I'm going to try to sing this. This is for your birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Many, many years ago when I was 23, I was married to a widow who was pretty as could be. This widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell in love with her, and soon they two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. My daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matters, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. My little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, and so became my uncle, though it made me rather sad. For if he was my uncle, then that also made him brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who of course was my stepmother. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Honey, sing with me. My father's wife had a son that kept him on
This
the
is
run.
still going.
And so became my grandchild, for he was my daughter's son.
He did give fair
My
warning
wife
that
is
it was
now
going
my
to be a
mother's
longer
mother,
one.
and it makes me blue because she is my wife. She's my grandmother, too. I'm my own grandpa. Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
do you
Charlie.
remember the
Say
words
it.
to this song?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right.
It's the second stupidest thing that man's done next to marrying Roseanne.
I honestly, it's not. It's very hard to disagree with that. That was bad. That was
And
incredibly
blow
bad.
your fucking nose.
Yeah, it sounded like he had like. Yeah, that was.
That's Tom Arnold though. That's what he does. Like that's his voice. It's not that he's stuffed up. That's his fucking voice.
Yeah, but if you blow your nose, that won't be your voice anymore.
That sounded more nasally than most of the
Yeah.
times he talks. It did.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounded like he literally had like two things shoved up his nostrils. Like 2 tampons or something shoved up his nostrils. Like trying to get it to stop bleeding or
Well,
something.
you have definitely set the bar for bad.
That was
with these now.
Well, that lived up to the name. Cameo Shit Show.
Yeah, it 100% did. That was like, holy shit, man.
I think the least surprising thing about that was he didn't know how old his daughter was.
Yeah. Oh, are you 5.5? Bruh.
You should probably know. You should probably know that.
Bruh, she's your daughter.
Yeah.
Props for you for admitting that to your wife. Too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like-
I don't know many women who would be totally fine with the fact you don't remember how old your kid is.
Right. Oh man.
Wow.
That was something else.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anything else we want to get into, boys?
No, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Looking
All
forward
right.
to Thursday, and then hitting the show Sunday and whatnot. The fantasy show. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Should be good.
I'm pumped for this week. This is I got a little sampling with the college football this week, which there wasn't many good games this weekend with college football.
Yeah, there was basically what we picked. That was kind of like the
but like the
best slate we could pick.
There wasn't, and the games themselves didn't turn out to be very well in any of them. But I still had a little sampling, and now I'm just ready to get into football, NFL football,
right?
Fantasy football. We've had all of our drafts. Frank tried to snipe Hurts from me.
I didn't try to. I did.
You did, but I didn't care.
But
I didn't care.
Joke
enough to
was
keep
on
bidding.
me because I paid out the fucking ass for him.
Yeah, you paid $20 for backup quarterback that you're going to end up dropping. Anyway, so
no, I will keep him on my roster just out of pure spite.
Just out of pure spite. Okay.
Just out of pure spite, he will be on that roster the entire year.
All right,
nice.
All right. Done?
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for tonight's show. I do want to give a shout out to Bald Man Entertainment.
Yeah.
Check him out this weekend at St. Hubert's Festival. He's going to be DJing live there. He's also going to be going on Facebook Live while he's DJing. So check him out on Facebook or check him out live at St. Hubert's. Saturday.
Saturday? Okay.
Yep. Saturday, 3 to 7. So, yeah, check him out. He's good at what he does, and the festival's awesome, so go check that out as well. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out our website, sotdet.com. While you're there, take a look at our show picks, along with the fantasy rankings and starts and sits for the week. Again, that's sotdet.com. I want to thank everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.